All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 75. Let's go. Our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything: news, reviews, discussions, trailers, announcements, state of plays, PC support. Yes, everything PSVR 2 and PSVR 1 and PSVR 2 on PC related. My name is AJ. What is up, guys? So good to see you. Welcome back once again. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Everything from brand new Metro Awakening VR details have been released along with a new extended gameplay trailer, and it's looking pretty good. We're going to break that down, talk about some of the new things that they've pointed out here that definitely have me excited, and most likely some of y'all as well. Also, I checked out Subside on PC using PC VR, PSVR 2 on PC, to just a little bit, just to get a little taste, just a little first impressions of what the game is like. The full release happened on a PC not too long ago, and so want to share some impressions on that. And I think you're gonna like what I have to say. And they also had a little bit of news. Also, tons of other things, Aces of Thunders, EXO-CARS, all sorts of things we're talking about today. This is, of course, Interactive Chat, where I like to interact with you guys and say, what is up to Blue Jew, Underground Cat, Elite Name Squad in the house? Giant Skies says Cheats 5. Chrome Colossus. Scott the PSVR Game Cat for Life. Hello there, my friend. Keen Bean. I am very excited for Metro as well. Salvador, my dude, what up, homie? Fist bump to you. Chrome Colossus, Euphoric, Cat Chat, AI, hello. Gotta beat Into the Radius before Metro. Ain't that the truth? At least you'll be somewhat prepared. Although I am spotting some differences with them, which we will certainly break down. Before we get into that, though, we got a little bit of things to talk about, a little bit of housekeeping first. I want to thank you watching right now, whether it be live like these awesome people in the chat or later on. I really appreciate you guys just watching. I also want to thank these lovely people down here that support me on Patreon at patreon.com/PSVR Underground. You help really everything. Like this costs a lot of people don't understand that doing this costs time and money that I hardly have. So I really use every second I can to do whatever I can, and these people go above and beyond to do that. I also try to throw in some extra content and stuff, giveaways on there as well, to try and give back as a way of thank you, because I really appreciate you guys for supporting me on there as always, as well as like people that donate to the channel. It helps more than you know. Yeah, man, so let's go ahead, and we got a little bit of stuff to get through. This is, of course, as mentioned, this is the third video in 3 days, I think. I don't know. Yeah, man, it is spooky season, and we have hit spooky season. We have hit the ground running really hard. I've been wanting to I want to draw this month out as long as possible. For some of you, you may have already seen, I kicked things off October 1st with my biggest jump scares from Madison VR. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of them because that game is freaky as hell and has tons of jump scares to boot. And then yesterday, I also streamed the PT Dreams 10th anniversary remake. And guys, this was just incredible. They remade PT and Dreams, and for the 10th anniversary of the PT Silent Hills demo, all these creators went back in and spruced it up and made it very, very close to the original. I mean, it is almost hard to tell the difference. Very, very subtle differences, if at all. Yeah, man, so shout out to them. If you have a PSVR 1 and a PS5 with the adapter and Dreams, then I highly recommend you check this out. Or if you don't, go check out my video of it. It was so much fun. It felt like the real thing, and it was just really, really awesome. And even better, the developers, or not the developers, but the creators, the dreamers, that made this awesome remake, actually heard some of my feedback. There was basically just two small little bugs I encountered in the thing, and they did address it and said that they're working on a hot fix right now. It might already be launched, I don't know. But they were just fixing something. I just had a little bit of issue picking up two of those little pieces of paper that you need to get the true ending of the teaser. And they already responded, which was awesome of them, and said that they're going to go in and fix it. So as soon as I get the word that they've got it fixed, guys, I'm going to be, sounding that alarm to go play this immediately, because if you've played PT before and you loved it, or if you've never played it before, you absolutely have to go do it. It is exactly like the original, the real thing. And it even has the stupid walk 10 steps to make the baby cry. And I love that they use a lot of the audio. They use, not only is like the scenes and models and everything very accurate, but they used all of the exact same audio as from the original and put it into this. So it just couldn't feel more like the real thing, and was really, really an incredible experience, and was so much fun to revisit PT, which is like still to this day, even though that stupid little demo, it's like still one of my favorite like games, I say almost, of all time, just because of the impact that it had, how scary, next level, next gen it was at the time. And honestly, not much has touched it, been able to touch it in terms of being scarier. So it's amazing. And it was, it was really, really cool. Highly recommend checking it out. That's not the only thing though. While I was in Dreams, I did also hear that Mr. Bad Robo, whenever you make Bad Robo mad, he goes in and he's like, you know what? I'll just do it in Dreams. So whenever Bad Robo gets angry, he goes and he just does it himself in Dreams. And he made an Astrobot, or Astro's Playroom kind of recreation in Dreams as well. And good God, you guys, this thing was buttery smooth, very, very polished for a Dreams game. On a PS4 Pro, it's a little bit blurry. On a PS5, it looks nice and sharp and clear. But this was super, super fun. And right now, there's 2 levels that you can play. There's 2 different levels you can play. I won't spoil what the second level is, but it is a level that there was only one type of these levels in the actual Astrobot rescue mission, and it was a lot of fun. It's a classic throwback, but I highly recommend checking this out. And Bad Robo and I think somebody else that made this together, they said that if enough people play this and enough people show interest, that they want to actually make it a full Dreams length 10 level game, to be able to play all the way through. So if you want to see that happen, make sure you go check out the game, play it, give it a thumbs up, and let Bad Robo know, so that you guys can check this out, because it is pretty awesome. It's really, really just clean. Like, it felt really clean to play this, and was really sweet. So good job, Bad Robo and company. Awesome stuff. In other news, so now moving on past Dreams, like I said, coming up this month, there's going to be lots of spooky content. I love this season so much. I really want to stretch it out as long as I can. And, I've gotten my Madison video out of the way, gotten PT out of the way, 2 things I wanted to do. I said it's going to be a combination of everything. PSVR 1, PSVR 2, PSVR 2 on PC. Next up, we've got, a couple different things scheduled. I don't know, maybe this weekend we'll start on one of them, but I'm going to be doing Alien Isolation in VR using PSVR 2 on PC. RIP. That's going to be so rough. That's going to be so difficult for me. Alien Isolation is the only game that I've ever had to stop because it was too stressful and too scary. That was, however, 15 years ago, something, maybe 20. I don't remember how long it's been now. But that was a long time ago. So I've played, you know, Resident Evil 7, Madison VR. Good God, I'll probably be playing that at some point this month on hard mode. these, you know, this to me, I'm like, yeah, this will be a great idea. And the second I think about it, I'm just like, this sounds terrible. Like, this sounds like a really stressful, a really stressful time. But I love these games. They're really good games, and it will be a lot of fun, even if it's going to be difficult. But yeah, we got the Dub Hell feature at some point with Metal Hellsinger, which just released today, and then Hellsweeper VR. I'm going to be doing a double stream of those. Looper, the Underground Game Cat, my dude, what is up, man? Says Dread Halls. Dude, I'm retired from Dread Halls. Like, that game caused me so much stress, and it was bad for my mental health to play that game as much as I did. Maybe I'll do a little stream of it, but man, I am trying to retire from Dread Halls and never look back, because that game has caused me enough suffering as is. It is fantastic though. If you have a PSVR 1, get HeroCade, go play Dread Halls for spooky season. Yeah, and I'm sorry in advance. Durbin Brown, let's see here. Darkwing Chuck, Bambino Ramos, Middle Gear Solid, Fritz, what up, man? Rapture Citizen says, Sony, give me the Bioshock trilogy in VR. We all want that. We all agree with you. What up, Jan Clausen? All right. So moving on, that is what you can look forward to for the rest of the month. Again, thank you guys for all your support and having fun. It's nice to just, it's really nice to just not worry about, you know, like trying to get views all the time, trying to get subs, trying to get revenue from ads and stuff. Ad-free live streams, by the way. Another shout out to the Patreons. Keeping this, all the live streams on this channel ad-free, and the donations. It helps a lot. Yeah, man, lots of good time. Just having fun. We're just having fun this month. I'm not worried about anything else, and it feels great. It's awesome. So moving on though, we do have some more important PSVR 2 news to get to. EXO-CARS, the upcoming racer that's like an off-road game, being published by Joyway and being made by EXO-CARS. I don't know how to say their name. Developed by them. It has been delayed, but there's good news and there's bad news. So it has been delayed into November, which they basically cited, saying that it was due to a complication with the multiplayer, that on PSVR 2 specifically, or PS5 environment, that they ran into some technical issues with the multiplayer on PSVR 2, that it has to be specifically designed for it. Not the first time we've heard of something like this, but it has been pushed back to November. However, the really, really good news is that they have since confirmed that it will have wheel support. Let's go. Because we need not only more racers, but a lot of people have on PSVR 2 have Gran Turismo 7, this guy right here. You know, we want more reasons to use it. Now, Gran Turismo, of course, gives us plenty of reason to use it, pretty much infinite reason to use it, but we want some variety. Variety is the spice of life, right? So it'll be nice to have another wheel-supported game. And this game's just looking awesome, man. You know, this preview here, this trailer is their old one, the first one, just shows kind of like a dirt track here and there, but they've actually shown a little bit more footage since then, and shown things like the little tropical island looking place, the sewer drainage stuff in California. Somebody always tells me what that's called, but I never remember. And like nice variety. So this game is going to launch somewhat like an early access game. I think it's going to be a little shallow on content, but they are going to make improvements and add additional content based on feedback. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this has a really solid launch, and lots of people play it, give them some good feedback, and allows them to, you know, continue working on it, fleshing it out. I'm really, really excited about this. I don't need this to be a huge game right now with all the stuff coming out. Excuse me, lots of huge games. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Chrome Colossus says they won't say if there's any force feedback, which has me thinking it might be bare bones wheel support. I'll take any wheel support over nothing. But yes, I typically do like, I mean, yeah, that's why I bought the more expensive racing wheels, because it does have the force feedback. I've got the T150 Pro. Storm Drains. Thank you, Scott. Scott, the PSVR Game Cap for Life, he's in the UK and he knows what that is. And I don't even know what that is. And those are all over the US. Damn, man. Way to show me up, Scotty boy. Way to show me up. But yeah, man, really, really looking forward to this one. Okay, before we move on, who said that? Euphoric Cat Chat AI says no rudder support. Is that who I think it is? Did you change your name? Let's see here. What else? A lot of talks about Bioshock Infinite or Bioshock. Lots of people jonesing for some Bioshock VR. I highly agree that would be amazing, especially since my experience with Bioshock is pretty limited, not gonna lie. I held out for a VR version because by the time I started getting around to playing it, I was like, all right, let's start the series. And then by the time I started playing it, VR came out and I was like, okay, this game is gonna get VR. I've got to wait. That's one of the rare occasions where that actually burned me really bad, not playing. So I've only played a little bit of Bioshock 2. So I've been missing out, man. I've been missing out hard. Same thing kind of happened with the Fallout series. Like I was like, I want to play this in VR. I waited for it to come to PSVR 1. It never did. I now have Fallout 4 on PSVR, on PC VR, but I haven't played it yet. Just a little bit. So, well, lots of talk about the title of my video, which I stand by, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's see. Oh, Chrome Colossus says October 6th was the anniversary of Alien Isolation. That's Sunday. Maybe I'll stream Alien Isolation Sunday for the anniversary of it. That's actually not a half bad idea there, Chrome Colossus. Thank you so much. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I am also surprised that there's no mod for Bioshock as well. With all the mods out there, you would think that'd be like a #1 priority, but I would have liked an official version as well. All right, so let's keep this going here. Aces of Thunder, you guys. Is it an announcement? Yes. Is it a release date? No. But it is a pretty cool one. Aces of Thunder actually, I need to move this over a little bit. That's not in the right spot. Aces of Thunder is obviously a game that's been announced for quite some time. Even I think back in January, they said that that this game was almost finished. Well, I think what's happened is that we're not. Obviously, they've been really pushing this back a long time now, and we still don't know if this is even going to be a 2024 release at this point. At this point, I hope it's not. I hope they just continue adding content, fleshing it out, because while we haven't gotten a release date like we had hoped for, the good news is that we've at least been getting some updates. They've been touching base here and there, giving us new gameplay here. And dude, today's video that they dropped showcased their Japanese fighter jets that they have. Man, this view right here really stood out to me, and it seemed like it stood out to a lot of other people. This really lush jungle, these environments. This is looking pretty stellar, actually. And yeah, man, some people have also speculated that they may have started working on single player content. What up, Azurrath? Like my dude Azurrath says in the chat. However, I wouldn't get ahead of yourself until they actually confirm that, because while it may just be a case of the PlayStation Store being a little outdated, which is, you can never 100% trust the PlayStation Store. But the PlayStation Store, which this game can be wishlisted once again, it says it is online, or I think it says online required. Actually, we can take a quick look at it together. Now I forgot. I was going to say it's online only for like multiplayer, but now that I think about it, online play required. So it is forcing you to have an internet connection, which some people are definitely not going to like. But you can see there in the bottom there, it says PlayStation Plus required for online play. In-game purchase is optional, but then it also says online play required. That doesn't necessarily mean, now that I think about it, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is online only content. But what that does seem to mean, unless this changes, which it is subject to change, that means that the game will always require an internet connection to play it. So we'll see, man. I think the game, even if it's just kind of bones, I think it's still gonna be pretty good. I mean, it looks to be a very good, very realistic flight sim, PvP flight sim. If it's got as long as it has enough people playing it, that's the danger here, right? Like when you're VR only and you're online only, multiplayer only, those games historically do not do well. They last maybe a month or two, and then they start to die off. Even games like Star Wars Squadrons. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that game, it had some players, but like even that game, a big IP like that, didn't take very long before it started to become hard to find players online. So hopefully that's not the case here, because this does look fantastic. This does look like the authentic flight sim PvP dogfighting experience that we've been waiting for. And it looks fantastic. That jungle, oh my God, that just looks so good. That will definitely at least add to the fun and the immersion a little bit, if it's got these lush, detailed environments that you can at least do your have the gameplay over. That will go a long way versus just a big empty blank slate at the bottom that just doesn't look that good to look at. Graphics they've always been important to a lot of people. They're pretty important to me, but to me, I think with VR, everything is almost more important with VR, because when it doesn't meet those expectations or standards, then it risks losing immersion. And it's all about being immersed in VR and what gets you immersed. And good graphics makes games, VR games, more immersive. So, but really cool stuff. No other updates on this at this time, but they have been showcasing that they have been adding, different regions, different allies and Axis fighter pilots and stuff, planes, everything. And yeah, it's looking really, really nice, man. It, again, if it is just a good enough experience, then that's all we really need. We don't yes, we want a full length Ace Combat length, single player campaign game, but if we can't get that, if it's just something that's very memorable, then that would be the best thing. All right. Let's see here. Bremen says maybe for leaderboards that it needs. It probably will have leaderboards. Looper says Hitman is online required, but single player. Yeah, there are games that are single player only, or single player, but require an online connection. When I quickly read that, I was thinking, oh, there's no single player content, but we'll see. I mean, they haven't given us any other details yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Let's see here. Drats Ebb says Squadrons was going strong until the pinballing. After that, new players wouldn't stick around. Um, what's pinballing? I don't know what that is. Uh, let's see here. Yes, and I am 100% with you guys in that I do hope at least that this does have some single player content, because yes, I am 100% more of a single player gamer than I am a multiplayer online gamer. So that's all good. Some people are asking about Metal Hellsinger. I have my first impressions from the first 2 hours on last week's episode. If you want to see my first impressions, I have not played beyond that, unfortunately. But so far, like, I like it. I don't know how much it is, but yeah, Metal Hellsinger and Max Mustard came out today and yesterday. And in fact, today I was actually going to be sharing in just a moment here, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on, or my review for Max Mustard, because I did beat that game. But Metal Hellsinger so far in the first 2 hours, which apparently is about halfway or over halfway through the game, it's not supposed to be a very long game, which is, kind of disappointing a little bit. I think that's like the only criticism I've heard is that it's a little on the short side. A lot of these games that are like rhythm games, rhythm shooters, stuff like that, rhythm-based games are not typically very lengthy. Like Pistol Whip, like I got that I had the platinum within just a few hours of that game, but it was still really fun. I think for Metal Hellsinger, that's a tricky one. I would probably like it more. Chrome says it's $30. I'd probably like it a little bit more at the $20 mark, and that has nothing to do with like the quality or anything, but just like how much time you'll get out of it. As far as the value is going to be different for different strokes, different folks. Like some people are going to have the $30 to burn, and it's fine. No pun intended. I'd like it. I mean, it's a quality game. It is fun. It has the best soundtrack that I've heard in a while. The soundtrack is amazing, and I think the gameplay is really fun. The soundtrack is amazing. The graphics are good. If you're wanting to just like for the experience of it, I'd say it's worth $30. But if you're like kind of like considering how much time you'll get out of it, that's going to be the weakest link here, is just how much time you'll be spending with it. So if you don't mind, maybe not getting 10, 20 hours out of it, then it's absolutely worth the $30. Otherwise, I'd maybe just hold off for just a little sale. I'd really like to see it like, I mean, $5, man, but like honestly, like $25 at most is what I'd like to pay for this. But it is quality, it is fun, and I think it's awesome. Speaking of new releases, I had a lot of fun with Metal Hellsinger, if that wasn't clear, and I have more to play. Speaking of new releases, though, we also got Max Mustard, which this one I did complete all the way through. I've been playing it for review over the last week or two. And so just going to give my summarized short little review for those that may be interested in this one as well. Let me just say, while I was playing this game, especially at first, I was thinking to myself, like, this is the platformer that we deserve. This game is, okay, first of all, is it good? Yes, it is really, really good in many, many ways. Is it amazing. It kind of depends. Like, this is the thing, is that so I love platformers. We haven't gotten a lot of platformers on VR. Well, I guess we kind of have, but here's the thing, is the majority of the platformers that we get are typically not very good. Stuff like Ven VR Adventure was a huge disappointment. That ugly ass moth game, I can't even remember the title, didn't care for it one bit, couldn't even make it 10 minutes, 20 minutes into it. This actually stands out a lot from the other VR platformers that we've gotten. This is one of the better ones that I would say that we've gotten. And of course, it draws a lot of inspiration from like Astrobot and its structure and everything. And it also, there's actually a couple other elements that growing up playing platformers that I kind of noticed. Things like, you know, like it's got like the Mario 3 like world map and everything. But so here's the thing about this game, is that this game, starting out, it was really, really exciting to me, like really exciting to play. And I kept telling myself, look, I don't care if I hate the title of the game. I don't care if I don't like the main character of it and think it's forgettable. That's fine. I just want this to be a very satisfying platformer and a really good game. And for the most part, it does that. It even actually, there were parts kind of in the beginning of this game where I was like, holy shit, like this is really, really good. Like this is doing things that a third person platformer can only do when it's built for VR. It's showcasing that. It's doing a really good job of showcasing that. And there's some moments where it kind of takes you for a ride. Like, even though you're controlling this third person character, what it does to you and the way you interact with the environments, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but some of the things it kind of does to you while you're playing throughout some of the beginning levels was really, really exciting. And I was like, holy shit, like this is next level. This is why VR, you know, is awesome, because of all the things. The problem for me with this game is that it kind of stopped doing that. Like, it seemed like it was building up, and I was like, oh, this one part was so much fun and just so awesome. And I was like, I can't wait for the variation of this level where I play it later on in the game and it's like even crazier, right? Like they're going to reuse this and this is just a taste of what's to come. Well, no, actually it just ended up, that was the part of the game and it never revisited that. And which was a shame, because that was one of the most fun and memorable moments of that game. It was kind of early on and I was hoping it would do it again and expand on it. It does some cool things, but it not to this degree that this early on level did. And that's kind of where this game falls short a little bit for me. Like I said, it's a good, solid platformer. It really is. Graphically, it's obviously been enhanced for the PSVR 2. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like blow you away graphics. Like the most impressive things that the graphics do is that there's a lot going on. It can have like a ton of stuff going on in the background, and like you can see from a far distance and you can see all the enemies, all the platforms moving, and like it was really impressive at times from that. But in terms of like the graphics being you know, very glossy and shiny and polished and lighting, it actually didn't. I think they kind of sucked out the lighting of it. Maybe that's what it is, the lighting, the shadows, things like that. It looks good. It looks really, really good overall. It's solid, crystal clear, and surprisingly, you know, for a game called Max Mustard and an extremely generic main character, I was also pleasantly surprised that I was actually pleasantly surprised that all the enemies and everything like look really cool. Like they look really unique. They look really cool. I love the all the references to like drop pandas out there, and there was some really good boss fights as well. Like the first boss fight was really exciting. They of course kind of have the Astro style boss fights where you've got the big character and you're doing these kind of interactive things. They also they blend in this this gun that you get, and in Astrobot, as you remember, you got like a whole, like throughout the game you would get a whole bunch of different tools and equipment to use. This just sticks with one, really. I think for the most part it's pretty much just this like plunger gun, which is fine. The shooting actually feels really good. They've got these target practice levels that feel pretty good. The haptics, adaptive triggers, and things like that. But yeah, this game is solid overall. I'm definitely with kind of with Brian's review. Like I'm at like either an 8 out of 10. Honestly, like I want to give it an 8 out of 10. Like I think if I'm this is where the confusing part comes, because it's like if I'm trying to be objective, as objective as possible, I want to give it an 8 out of 10. But really what my heart says, which I feel like it deserves more than this, is like the mid 7s, high 7s range. Only a little bit of a difference, still a really good game. It's just kind of, I don't know, for as fun as it was, I was having fun. I did get a little bored for a minute, and then it brought me back in. Like I was like, like this is starting to get repetitive. This is starting to just kind of be samey. But then it did kind of start shifting things around, mixing it up again, and start getting really fun, engaging, exciting again. It does one thing that I gotta call out real quick, and that it has one of the coolest rhythm-based platforming levels I have ever played. That is probably one of the most memorable things for me, is this is how awesome there's a level where you, every time, like you jump, and every time you jump, these platforms shift. This is a mechanic that I've seen used in a lot of other games, except they don't do it with your timing of jumping. The closest example I can think of is kind of like Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, where they give you the Aku Aku guy and you press like R2 to swap the platforms around. One becomes kind of like invisible and you can fall through it, and the other one you can land on, and then you jump, press the button, and do this. What I loved is that they actually directly tied this shifting of the platforms with your jumping. And I was really impressed with that. And then beyond that, there was a level where those platforms are shifting around to the music. And I'm so glad I mentioned that, because that level with the rhythm-based platforming was, I thought, incredibly creative and cool and a lot of fun to play. But that also leads me to number 2, which is, I got to shout out the music here. The soundtrack for this game was also really, really well done. It has a lot of really great qualities. You know, it took me about 3-4 hours to beat. I think it was, I don't know, maybe 4 hours to beat it at most. It's not a very long game. It's not super memorable. I honestly, for me personally, I really care a lot about mascots, like gaming mascots, like growing up playing Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, God, like name it, you name it, even Jersey Devil. Even, I won't go as far as Croc, because I mean, Croc was an okay game, but as a character, definitely not. But like Gex and stuff, sometimes the best part about these platformers, character platformers like this, are the characters themselves. And look, I gotta stand by what I said earlier, and I hate to do this again, harp on this again, sound like a broken record, but I do not like the character in this game. I do not like the title of this game. I think it feels weird saying, hey, I'm gonna go play Max Mustard, or like, hey, you want to check out Max Mustard? I think the developers really shot themselves in the foot here with that name. That is not gonna sell anybody by the name, but luckily the game itself is pretty fun. Scruffy Duck says, hey, leave Croc alone. Max Mustard can go join Croc and they can be happy together in Forgotten Mascot Land. Good gameplay, bad characters. No, but and it's not just the design of the character. It's like it's like they put love into everything in this game except for the main character, which is like super important. That's one of the things that bothered me, is like the character itself felt really unpolished. The way she like stares at you with her dead, lifeless eyes, and then like sometimes when she would get hit, the way she reacts doesn't look very good. The things that she does, like, I don't know why they didn't put like more thought and love into the main character of the game. That's really, really important. This is why things like Quill from Moss series are like extremely memorable. I mean, the way you can interact with Quill, the things that she does, the way she animates, the way she reacts, was like top notch. And that's the biggest difference for this between this character and that character, is like, I was shocked. I was like, wow, like all the character designs look really good except for the main character. And I'm like, how does this come to be? So I don't know how that happened. For this game, price wise, it feels it's for $30. This is another one where I'm like, like I would think this, it's kind of like Metal Hellsinger. This is a quality game. It is very good. Between the two, I think I resonate with Metal Hellsinger a little bit more. But if you need a platformer fix like really, really bad, this will definitely hold you over for now. Because it is a very good platformer. It does a lot of really great things, a lot of creativeness, a lot of good gameplay. So I do recommend it overall. I'd like it more at the $20 price point, but hey, you know, I don't think it's terrible. If you wanted to get this, hopefully you just pre-ordered it and got got it for $25 when it was pre-order discounted. But yeah, man, that's it for me. I'm somewhere between like a 7.5 and an 8 for this. It's solid. It's pretty good. It is just ended up as fun as it was, as like the first half of it, I was like, it really had me going. I was like, holy crap, like this is so good. This is like everything we needed. And then by the end of it, I was kind of like, you know, it was fun. Like, it's good, but it didn't amaze me or blow me away after for the entire second half. But yeah, I do think it is good though, overall. But that's my review on Max Mustard. And I like the one, there's a reference in this game also that I really, really liked as well. All right, so let me get a quick drink of water real quick. Let's see here. Let me see what you guys are saying before we move on to Subside first impressions. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I'm very interested. I'm more interested in the conversation in the chat. Imzadi says, morning all. Hello, Imzadi. Says, glad you're safe, AJ. Yeah, thank you. Luckily, I was very, very fortunate. The hurricane did not hit here very hard, which was very surprising because we've had smaller hurricanes do way more damage. I guess we just very, very fortunate. So never lost power. It just rained a little bit, really, which is surprising because like all around us and everything, parts of Atlanta were like flooded. It was crazy, chaotic. I mean, some places were completely underwater. So crazy, man. Don't F with Mother Nature. That's why I recycle. I recycle everything I can. Let's see here. So let's see. What up, Digital Delirium? Stupid Donkey. Long time no see, homie. Good to see you. Let's see. Stupid Donkey. Thank you so much for the donation. Get that tip train going. Choo choo. Says, I hate plankton. Were you timing that just for the Subside conversation? Because it is time to talk about Subside. And now I'm going to be using my own footage here. I did capture some footage for you. The reason, before I start rolling the footage and talking about it, The reason I'm bringing this up is because Subside is confirmed for PSVR 2, and it is not only confirmed, the developers recently shared gameplay of it running on PSVR 2 on a PS5. And they said that it is running with dynamic foveated rendering at 90 hertz with no reprojection. You can see a quick clip of that right here. Oh God, that is way, need to zoom in, zoom. That's too far. Oh God. But yeah, they posted on Twitter. Oh my God, what have I done? They posted this on Twitter of the game running on PSVR 2 with DFR and 90 hertz, no reprojection. This game is going to be coming out at some point. I don't know. They say hopefully before the end of the year. Hey, I know that guy. Wait, no, maybe not. I thought I did. A lot of people asking questions about it. But guys, Subside, man, coming to PlayStation VR 2, hopefully before the end of the year. If not, I will take an early 2025 release. But what up, Mark Poppin, Pringles Leaf? What up, homie? Better late than never, my friend. Good to see you, man. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in today and later. I appreciate each and every one of you. Keeps me going through this. A Dizzle in the house too. What up, man? But anyways. So, Subside, you guys, let me just say, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that I saw making videos like best looking VR game ever made, really amazing graphics, gorgeous graphics, perfect graphics. And let me just tell you, they were not lying. This game looks absolutely phenomenal, but there's so much more than that. And this is, of course, my gameplay footage that I'm going to be showing you here. So first and foremost, this game is very much just kind of like a diving or swimming simulator. A little bit of exploration, a little bit of collecting different things. This is one, you guys, that I legitimately think we need to be very, very excited about coming to PSVR 2, because while it is somewhat of a kind of tech demo-y, kind of showcase kind of thing, it does have enough content with it. And let me tell you, I felt like I could play this game for hours and hours and hours. It is incredibly fun to play. Now, granted, I am a little biased towards underwater exploration and swimming, but this is the most fun I've had with underwater exploration since No Man's Sky. This, by the way, A Dizzle, this is PC VR footage. This is PSVR 2 on PC, but it is coming to PSVR 2 on PS5. I'm just using this to kind of preview, tell you a little bit about it, tell you my first thoughts on the game. But the graphics are absolutely stunning playing on my mid-PC rig. Things like the light refractions, the textures, the lighting, all these things look pretty breathtaking. But what makes this game also so great is just as a technical showcase. Let me tell you right now. Now, some people are gonna disagree with me here. That's okay. But to me, I think that this is a better VR showcase than Horizon Call of the Mountain was. Graphically, it looks better to me. It's got that hyper realistic look, kind of like Kayak VR. I mean, look at that. That looks insane. This is something that is like, if I had somebody over, it's like this would be the first thing I would want to shove them into, to have them swim around. And that's the other thing, is that the swimming mechanics feel really, really good. And I'm really excited about this coming to PSVR 2 because they'll also be able to throw in things like haptics. The handset rumble, was a little on the weak side. Like there is a little bit of rumble here and there for certain things, but with what they can achieve with the orbs, if they throw in some haptics, kind of like what they did with Hubris, this is going to feel incredible. Hubris really nailed the swimming. I think the swimming in this is actually a little bit better, just because it feels a little bit more realistic. But the way that Hubris flowed and mechanically, it did feel really good. And the way they implemented those haptics, that could be the difference maker. If they put good haptics in the swimming, like they did with Hubris, this will exceed Hubris in my opinion. If not, then it's kind of a toss-up. Both are exceptional though. But essentially, the swimming mechanics feel really, really good. The exploration is excellent. And it just feels so good to get immersed and play. And, you know, there's things to do. Unlike, this is the beauty of this versus something like Kayak VR, where you're not stuck in a kayak. And I don't know, it just feels kind of like Kayak VR, except it's fun. And I think that was Kayak VR's biggest flaw, was that like it was a great technical showpiece, great visually and everything, but it just wasn't fun to play. This is extremely fun. This is really, really fun to play. Oh, and this grabbing mechanic, the way that you can actually, they've been like fine tuning the physics in this, and the way there's a little crab I could find. I was trying to get into a crab battle. The physics in this are really good, but the way you can like grab different objects in the like you can grab like logs and rocks and hold on to different things. They did a phenomenal job with that, where you can kind of pull yourself across the bottom of the ocean, especially like working against like a current. Like there's some like currents that pop up. But yeah, man, this is I think in terms of like realism, this is like one of the more realistic looking VR games I've probably ever played. It looks phenomenal. It is beautiful. It's relaxing. This to me is like the 2.0 version. This is like PlayStation VR World's Ocean Descent. This is like that similar kind of experience, except for this, you get to swim around. But I am extremely impressed. I only played the first 2 levels because I kind of want to save the rest for PSVR 2. I'm depending on how much free time I have, I may break and just decide to finish or continue it and do more. But this is one that I'm really curious about, the PSVR 2 version, because without the haptics and everything, it is already really, really good. So I can only imagine like with like the 90 frames per second DFR, eye tracked foveated rendering and the haptics, all that stuff. This could be really, really awesome. But super excited about this one, you guys. And I think you should be too. I kid you not. This has potential to be like I mean, it is definitely, for me, just from the first impressions alone, it is already feeling like a top 20 VR game. If it's, you know, if it has enough content and replayability and value to it, this could easily be like a top 10 title just for the experience alone. It is like really, really awesome. Pietrek F points out something here that they did, the developers did mention. They said that they did have to cut out a couple little effects here and there for the PSVR PS5 version, but they are hoping that they can restore some of those on PSVR 2. So I will be curious to see what kind of things they have this game on PC. It does, I do have like dynamic shadows enabled, and I didn't have FSR enabled here. But it was looking sharp and crisp and beautiful, and lights and effects and all the things were looking really, really nice. So yeah, man, this is going to be a really, really cool game. Another like showcase kind of title coming to PSVR 2 that's not only fun to play, fun, like a breathtaking experience, but something great that you can stick a family member or a friend in as well and be like, look, this is VR now. Like, this is where we're at. and it will blow their mind. And I think something like this is a little bit more accessible than something like, you know, Horizon Call of the Mountain, stuff like that. So really, really awesome stuff here. This is one, guys, mark it high on your radar. I know there's a lot of games coming out. But yeah, mark this one up top because it is really, really awesome. What up, your long shadows? Jan Clausen says you will see every plankton. L. you guys really hate plankton. Yeah, Left Control Gaming says there's like a shark level too. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I'm undecided whether or not I want to wait for the PSVR 2 version to really play the full thing. But I did buy this because I wanted to support them, and also wanted to be able to preview it for you guys. Again, like, shout out for all your support that allows me to buy it and preview it for you. But yeah, man, pretty cool. Awesome game, exceeding my expectations so far. So I'm really excited to see the full amount of content that it's going to have. But this is one that is just, it's like I could just jump into VR and just get lost in this and explore for quite some time. So very, very cool. Your long shadow laying down the law says plankton makes oxygen, you boobs. I love it. I've never heard somebody I don't think I've ever heard somebody call somebody a boob before, but that's not really an insult to me. but I like it. It says let's see here. Robert M in the house tonight. What up, man? Good to see you, Rethmania. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so far I've been able to dive pretty deep in this game for the sections that allow it, but yeah, nothing too, I haven't done any like deep sea diving yet. Just pretty deep though. All right, which brings us to our last story of the day, and that is, of course, Metro. And you guys, we got a brand new look at Metro VR. Why is all my videos are like off? They're like, anyways, I'll fix this. We got an extended gameplay look at Metro VR today. And this has been honestly one of my more anticipated titles coming out. And this is looking really, really nice. And just like I said in the title, to me, whether it hits this or not, I'm not sure. But it looks to me that Vertigo Games and Deep Silver are taking one of their very popular IPs and they are Half-Life Alyxing the hell out of it. That's what it looks like to me. And listen, whether they pull this off or not, it remains to be seen. But from everything I've been seeing so far, this looks very much to be like the next Half-Life Alyx to me. It is sort of like a, you know, narrative story driven, kind of more linear shooter, with a mix of, you know, just like atmosphere, really polished looking graphics. I mean, the graphics in this look incredible. But this is the part that excited me the most, is that they showed off this gameplay earlier. And this is where I was already excited about this. But after I saw this, and I highly recommend you watch this gameplay video and then just go, okay, that's all I need to see. I don't want to see anything else until November 7th, which is when the game launches. But they showcased some things that I thought were really cool looking in this. In terms of being able to use, they basically did a breakdown of some new mechanics that they hadn't previously shown. Things like here, like stealth. I'll restart this video here so you can get a better look at it. But you can actually see the character kind of sneaking around, using different environments, turning off his flashlight, and you can actually sneak around different enemies. And they show you doing some, oh, that didn't restart the video. That's okay. They actually show you doing some non-lethal kills, like like being able to hit him with the butt of the gun and knock him out, and then somebody else he hit him with a glass bottle and knocked him out. It was pretty cool to see some stealth here. I think that's gonna be really cool. Nice different approach. And this game gets obviously compared to like the Stalker series a lot, which we also just had another game which is similar to Stalker, and Into the Radius. The big difference here is that one thing I noticed right away is that in Into the Radius, it is very like stressful, and it's kind of, I don't want to say tedious, but it's kind of like slow and suspenseful. And like when you shoot a gun, you have to like, it takes a long time to like slowly, get your backpack out, get your bullets, load your gun, cock the gun, turn off the safety. Then you can shoot and you get like 6 shots, and then you got to do it all over again. So you got to really make every bullet count. In this gameplay footage here, man, they really just spray everything with bullets here. So I'm not sure how much of that is going to actually be, if it's kind of like, it definitely seems like it flows a little bit faster, that you can, you don't have to be as conservative with ammo. It seems a little bit more actiony as well, even though there's like some stealth options here. It doesn't seem, at least in terms of like ammo conservation, things like that, as much of a survival kind of experience. It seems like another one of these, let's take you for a thrill ride kind of thing. And they do showcase some of the equipment here, as well as the different enemies. There's speculation in the chat about how long the game is supposed to be. Some say they believe maybe it's supposed to be around 8 to 10 hours, which would be pretty good. I mean, pretty solid for like a high quality, if it doesn't let up, that would be a good length for it for sure. But they showcase some of the equipment here, some of the enemies. You see things like the pistol. It has attachments like a silencer. And I talked about the lethal, non-lethal weapons. There was a lethal weapon like a grenade that he pulled from the backpack. They mentioned some of the new equipment here. I'm sorry. It's equipment that was in the previous games that they brought back, but they have redesigned it to be used in VR. You can see him looking at his watch here. That lets you monitor things like your gas mask filters, which you do have to replace. There are things too, like your gas mask can fog up. You have to take off the mask and wipe it. There's the universal charger that you use to like charge your flashlight. That's the thing he pulls out and like cranks and then turns on the flashlight. And they did say that keeping the flashlight charged and everything is going to be an important mechanic. I love this scene right here. This is what I'm talking about, man. That little ending snippet right there, though, where you're on that little cart ride and there's some action going on. That's the kind of shit that I live for in VR. Like take me for a ride and like let's have like an experience here. Don't hold my hand. Don't like hold me back from having a really fun and adrenaline fueled experience. But I love that's something that some games have done, like Resident Evil 4 had a wonderful cart ride. That was like one of the best parts of that game. But I love just these like actiony, like let me go fast, let me go loose, go crazy kind of moments there. They also mentioned things like having the lighter, which is used to like clear cobwebs apparently. Stupid doggy, thank you so much for another donation. Keep that tip train going. Choo choo. Appreciate you, man. I really appreciate the love and support. Right back at you. Says Plankton and Quill are the same. They both suck. Nah, hey, you leave Quill out of this. Quill is an angel. Anyways. But anyways, this is back to showing like the stealth here where he's sneaking around. But the game here seems to be overall, they have a heavy emphasis on the atmosphere here, which is something, the atmosphere, the graphics are looking really good. And I do see a lot of what I've experienced with Half-Life Alyx in this. Obviously, there's no stealth, like I saw somebody mention earlier. There's no stealth in Half-Life Alyx, as far as I know. They've got to be different to some degree. And I think the Metro series did have some stealth in it. Not much, but I don't know. I haven't played a ton of the original Metros. This is also, if you haven't played the original Metros, then this is going to be a good jumping off point, because this kind of introduces you to the world, the lore, some of the characters. But it is a good jumping off point. It's taking place before the Metro games. So kind of like a prequel. So it'll be a good jumping off point for that. And it's nice that you don't have to have played the originals. But there are, of course, some references, some similarities. I love the sparkles on that grenade, by the way. That was the most jacked up looking grenade I've ever seen, which makes me wonder if there is a crafting system in this. I don't know. I don't actually know if they've said if there's a crafting system in this or not. I thought maybe they would have, but they do mention like having to conserve ammo and stuff in there as well. But Robert says stealth was always an option, but you can also choose to go full assault, which is cool. I like having the option. And they did I did see, they did say that like you will be, you know, obviously it's sometimes more of a tactical wise approach to take the stealth route versus that. But this game is looking really, really high quality so far, though. The early impressions have been really good from the people that got to play, went hands-on with this over at Gamescom. This is definitely another one of those more like highly anticipated games. One of the big hitters. Rapture Citizen says, I'm excited for Metro. Definitely a buy if the reviews are good. I'm really, really excited for Hitman on PSVR 2. I really hope it's good and nothing like Hitman on Quest 3. Hitman will not be like Hitman on Quest 3. It will be far from it. Completely different developers, which we can talk about a little bit, but want to wrap up talking about Metro real quick. Also, like I said, like the enemy designs, the enemies, I like that there's a mix of humanoid and these little radioactive creatures, post-apocalyptic mutants, if you will. Really, really cool stuff from what I've seen with the gameplay. They've showcased some of the guns, like the pistol, the shotgun, some of all these like makeshift post-apocalyptic weapons. But yeah, this is looking really, really good, and I'm super excited to check this out. Can't wait. The last thing I'll mention on this is that it is also, I know we have rules against pre-ordering. However, if you're willing to take the risk, they do have the pre-order stuff here. You pre-order for 48 hours early access. You get the Field Medic pack, the backpack. The deluxe edition includes Memories of Palanca pack, exclusive in-game art gallery access. Don't really care about digital art galleries. Well, it says in-game art gallery. That's interesting. That's actually a little bit different. I don't really know. That's kind of confusing. Get the Fallen patch, the Nautilus charm, the Nautilus backpack, and the Nautilus gloves, which I have no idea what that means because I haven't really played these. But yeah, a sloth charm. You can pre-order for a sloth charm. Actually, I think the biggest pre-order incentive is that I don't know. I mean, it's always a risk when you pre-order, but this is looking very promising. I'd be shocked if this is anything lower than an 8 out of 10. Although I'm expecting higher. I'm much, much higher. But I'd be shocked if it was anything lower than an 8 out of 10. And that 48-hour access is pretty nice. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Oh, man. But yeah, so cannot wait. I am, from here on out, I am closing myself off from anything else Metro VR. I really don't want to know pretty much anything more about it until I play it. But what I've seen so far looks fantastic. something that we've really needed. This game, guys, to me is a potential like system seller. This is the kind of stuff that makes people go out and buy VR. A popular IP built from the ground up exclusively for VR. It's nice to see that it's across different headsets, which is nice too, because this day and age, we do not really need exclusives right now that really does more damage than good. It doesn't look like this. I mean, despite being on multiple platforms, including the Quest, it doesn't look like it's really compromised much in terms of like graphics and things like that, which is really nice. Maybe some gameplay elements, but Kevin Russ says need a good 10 out of 10 VR game. That's true. We need some 10 out of 10s. I don't think it's going to be a 10 out of 10 either, but I'm expecting this to at least be in the 9s. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I will be super happy with that. But yeah, man, give me a full length game. Again, the thing that I'm interested to, I really want to see a good story in a VR game. We haven't had many games that really nail the storytelling. And the one thing I do remember about the Metros that I have played is like, it felt like I was playing a book. Like it was so well written and voice acted that like I was seeing something on the screen, but I was also, my imagination was filling in a lot of blanks because the narrative and the storytelling was so rich. So I really hope that that's a strong element of this too, because we do not have enough good stories in VR. So obviously a big focus is going to be the gameplay. The gameplay, the graphics, the quality and everything. I'm really excited about how scary this is potentially going to be. I know I already see people noping out from the spiders and other things. But to me, no, I love that shit. Like I think that just really helps the atmosphere. Even Half-Life Alyx had some really spooky moments that were, I thought, amazing. Really, those were some of my favorite moments that I played of the game so far. But yeah, guys, I guess the last thing before we get out of here, I saw somebody mention Hitman, baby. Oh, dude. Yeah, and somebody was mentioning that, you know, we did end up getting that. We did end up getting that Starship Troopers announcement. Did not look as good as we had hoped for. That looked like a worst case scenario kind of thing. But dude, XR Games, man, I am shocked by the thing. So the reason I'm putting up Hitman is because somebody said, I hope this version, the PSVR 2 version of Hitman, does not end up being like the Quest version of Hitman. Not going to be the case because it's different developers. But I will say, XR Games had some unfortunate news lately. They have, of course, are developing several different games right now, but they have announced that they've laid off, I think around like, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody had said that they had laid off around 86% of their staff. I don't even know how that's possible. But that's a shame, man, because XR Games, I actually thought was a really promising up and comer development team. I mean, they've been around for a while, kind of in the early stages, and from what they had made, like they had always done kind of like, you know, worked on like popular IPs. They did stuff like the Angry Birds game, and I was like, you know, the Angry Birds, I don't give a shit, but it was at least a competent game. It wasn't that bad. But they announced they were actually the ones that are doing the Starship Troopers thing, and that looked rough. Now I will say I am a fan of Starship Troopers, and I want to root for that game. But it's got a lot of red flags. But I'm really hoping for the best here. But I guess we'll know soon enough because the Quest version is coming out before the PSVR 2 version of Starship Troopers. But I love that IP and I want to root for it. I hope I don't hear terrible things about it, but I think we all have the same feeling that Starship Troopers is, you know, not going to be Not gonna live up to expectations, most likely. We'll see though. I want to give it a chance because, again, I love that IP. I'm so tired of that IP always getting shit on when it's always been really good, and I kind of want to fight for it a little bit, right? But I'm not willing to fall on every sword, especially not that sword if it sucks. But XR Games, man, sad to see it. They're also developing Zombie Army, which I think Zombie Army will be fine. I think it'll be okay. Maybe it'll have some things about it that, I think I had heard from the impressions, like things like, it wasn't a great experience at Gamescom. However, I gotta play this one for myself because part of that was like, they had a lot of problems at Gamescom. Like there was like no audio, like they were demoing Zombie Army with no audio for some reason. But this is, of course, a Rebellion IP. And even though they outsourced Sniper Elite VR, for its flaws, which it did have some flaws, it was still really good. And I thought was still a very, very good VR game overall, a worthy addition to the library. So at the very least, I'm hoping that's the case with Zombie Army as well. A beloved IP for many, many people. And they're also working on something else, XR Games. So I don't know how the hell a small team like that was working on so many projects, but maybe that's part of the reason why they're running into some trouble now. I just hope this isn't ends up being one of those stories of just like completely awful work environment, completely abusive, or like poor leadership management that just like screws up all the developers that work their ass off over. I really hope that this is not one of those cases, and and turns out better case scenario. I have some faith still in Sniper Elite, despite some disappointing early impressions. I still have faith in it to deliver at least a solid game. I've never really expected this to be something to like blow me away from the get-go, but if it is hopefully like the same length as Sniper Elite, same price, and similar in quality and length and everything, and we'll be just fine and dandy. Stupid Donkey, thank you so much for the donation. Stupid Donkey out here keeping the channel alive by himself. Thank you, man. Appreciate the donation. Says tip AJ and fuck Plankton. Are you talking about Plankton like the actual Plankton, or isn't there like a cartoon character from something named Plankton? Are you talking about that character? I imagine you're just talking about Plankton in general. I don't have beef with Plankton, either one. I love swimming and I love underwater and I love the ocean. So give me all the Plankton. Let's see. Alejandro says, who else would like to fall on the sword? Oh, where's Wes when you need him? Let's see here. So what are you guys saying? GT said that the Zombie Army game is missing the X-ray and other VR elements. Zombie Army is already confirmed to have X-ray kills. So Magnum, I don't know why GT would say that. They've already said that the game has X-ray shots. They've already confirmed that from the developers themselves. So maybe they weren't showing it or something. Let's see. That's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is like a highlight of Sniper Elite. Those X-ray shots were so much fun. Oh my God. Those were amazing. Let's see here. Pietrek F says, AJ, how would you rate Alex? So I haven't finished Alex, by the way, which I need to go do. I don't know why I haven't finished that yet. I guess when PC Adapter came out, I kind of just started jumping around to like everything. And I didn't really like finish anything yet, although I have been going back to Final Fantasy VII, which I was going to talk about Final Fantasy VII today, but there wasn't really enough time. But I am going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake in UEVR, because holy shit, that is amazing. And it's for a bunch of reasons that I can't wait to tell you why. I hate to do a tease, but I've played a lot of Half-Life, I've played a good chunk of Half-Life Alyx. I love it so far. It is really, really good. And it seems like it's only getting better. and I've played a ton. I've played most of Half-Life 2, and Half-Life 2 is amazing. Really, really good. Obviously an older title, but looks really, really crisp and nice in the headset. Really fun campaign, long game. I'm like well over 10 hours into it. Imzadi says, I've finished Alex and it's good, but it's definitely not my favorite game. Yeah, I mean, I think Alex, I don't know. It's a very polished game, which is nice. It's a very polished AAA graphics, kind of game. I think maybe the weakest part of Alex, the weak link maybe, is just, the kind of like gameplay itself is just kind of standard. But it's really, really good. I can't rate it just yet. The Bad Bantha. Is a Bantha that thing from Star Wars, that big hairy thing? That's awesome. Oh, why is this like this? OBS. Okay, so I should have ended the show like 10 minutes ago, but I'm having fun just talking. This is interactive chat after all, and I only get to do this once a week. By the way, this Saturday we will be doing a Madison VR spoiler cast. We're going to talk about the story, lots of things, do a deep dive there on the psychological terror that game is. That's going to be a lot of fun. Sounds like this Sunday, if not sooner, no later than Sunday, I'll be doing Alien Isolation. But yeah, man, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna keep streaming for just a little bit longer here and just chat a little bit, another 5-10 minutes, because y'all got a lot of y'all have a lot to talk about today, which is great. And I don't get to like answer your questions and interact with you enough. So now I want to take full advantage of it here. The Bad Bantha says, honestly, don't know what Sony IP would be good for VR other than Astro. A God of War game seems like it could be cool, but I don't know. Returnal, 100%, man. Robert says, yay, fuck it. Let's see here. Dude, Returnal all day. I mean, Astrobot is a great VR IP, obviously, that they stole from us. So Astro's dead to me for now until they remake it or give us a VR mode or give us a sequel or something. But Returnal would be my number one Sony IP that they could make for VR, or Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man or Returnal would be, to me, if I wanted to make money, Spider-Man. Duh. Like Sony just they really missed an opportunity by not having a Spider-Man game, and because they're kind of cautious about motion sickness, things like that. But for real, like, dude, if you, like a Spider-Man game would sell headsets like crazy. I'd play the shit out of that. And I'm not even the biggest comic book guy, but Pietrek F says, LOL, again, roguelike, good joke. Listen, Returnal is the most non-roguelike I've ever played. And let me tell you, in VR, it is one of the most mind-bending experiences I have ever had in VR. It was incredible playing it in UEVR. I'm not done with it yet, actually. Again, I kind of juggled around a bunch of stuff and then stopped. But Sal, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you, homie. Keeping that tip train going. Choo-choo, my homie, dude. What up, man? Says spooky, crazy tip train. Thank you, man. Happy spooky season to you, brother. Appreciate you, man, as always. And thanks for using the link in the description where 100% goes to me. So I appreciate that. Versus YouTube being greedy and taking my monies. No, but really, thank you, man. It really helps a lot. You, the patrons, all of you, these lovely people down here. Full Wolverine game in VR, says Sal. Wolverine game would be pretty sweet. Dude, I love that. Oh, that Deadpool and Wolverine movie was so much fun. That fight sequence, oh my God. That fight sequence at the end ish, I could watch over and over and over and over. That was so good. Pietrek F says The Last of Us 1, 2, Days Gone, Motorstorm. Motorstorm would be a good one. Oh, I didn't record it. Damn it. You know, it's funny that you say that because there's a Dreams Motorstorm game. And I actually, when I was jumping back into Dreams, playing PT, playing Astrobot, I went back and luckily I still have my my playlist, which I don't know if anybody else can access. Does anybody know? I'll have to ask you guys later, see if anybody else can access that playlist. But if you can, let me know. But yeah, I made like a playlist of 75 hand tested and beaten VR games in Dreams, and one of them is a Motorstorm Apocalypse game. It's just one track, but damn is it good. It is so much fun, has a great soundtrack to it, has lots of ramping, has the boosting system that like overheats and everything. Dude, I have a stream of it from one of my Dream streams. God, I love Dreams so much. Red Rover, the effing game cat. Red Rover, said Red Rover over. Thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Appreciate the love and support. Right back at you, my friend. I was going to say it, but it looks like you said it here, so I'll get to say it anyways. It says, sup, Red Rover. Do you think they'll port Skyrim? Dargans. Unfortunately, no. I think the only way to play Skyrim in VR is on PC or with a PSVR 1 headset on PS5. That's the only way to play it with really at all. Luckily, you know, I have kind of just embraced all of the PSVR that I can, which includes PSVR 1, PSVR 2, and PSVR 2 on PC. And to me, let me tell you guys, if I'm being absolutely honest, having a PSVR 1, having a PSVR 2, and having a PC to play the PSVR 2 on it, this is peak VR gaming for me. This is the most amazing VR I have ever experienced in my entire life. It feels like right now with my setup and everything I have, and then on top of that, I've got my racing wheel, I've got my flight stick, my HOTAS flight stick, I've got my haptics vest. Dude, I feel like I am living VR on steroids life right now. And I know that there are some like, you know, VR enthusiasts, purist stuff that are like way more into me, but as a gamer first and foremost, like, dude, this is like some VR on steroids shit like that I am experiencing right now. It's a lot of expensive hardware. It is expensive. You know, games cost money too, but holy shit, is this like, we are in a good spot, you guys. Like, things are good right now, especially like after UEVR launched. Subside is coming out. Subside just dropped on PC, is coming out on PSVR 2, and it's like the best native VR game I've played in a really long time. Scott, the PSVR Game Cap for Life, says Ready Player AJ. This is what it feels like, dude. It is. I am immersed as hell out here, and it is glorious. Dude, VR is incredible. I have finally come back around to where like it's like VR just feels so exciting again to me, which is awesome. And yeah, it takes a little bit of digging, it takes a little bit of research, a little bit of testing, knowing what you like, and trying new things a lot, taking a lot of chances. But good God, there are so many things to be rewarded with in the VR scene. It is amazing, and I love this. But yeah, to answer the question, long story short, no. I think Microsoft just killed VR support for their own headsets. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, Microsoft, Xbox, they are not getting into VR anytime soon unless they do some kind of partnership with Meta or something. But otherwise, no. Unfortunately, that was the big downside of Microsoft buying all these publishers, trying to spend Sony out of business, is that basically now they're just taking all these IPs and running them into the ground because they have the money and power to. So, yay, go Microsoft. But luckily, you know, we still have Skyrim on PS4, the Skyrim VR, and we still have the PC version. And I have not done this yet. I have Skyrim VR on PC, but I hear that like adding mods to it, which is mods these days are way so much easier to use than how they used to be. They're way easier to obtain. They're way easier to apply. And of course it's PC, so it is going to require some tinkering here and there and some expensive hardware. But I can't wait. At some point, I will be revisiting Skyrim with some mods, but not anytime soon. Maybe once I get my PC upgrade eventually. I'm hoping around Black Friday I can find something. I'm probably selling my PC to my friend who wants it, and I'm gonna try to go big and get something. Yeah, and honestly, the longer you wait, it's fine. PCs are just now getting to the point to where they can really run VR really, really well, especially non-native VR and like mods and stuff. But yeah, man, the future is extremely bright for VR, and I want to see all the things. I want to see official game support. I want to see like stuff coming to console on PS5. I really think what Sony's been doing has been the best thing for VR overall. Meta is obviously rapid firing a lot of VR headsets onto people, but in terms of like making it stay, I don't really know. I don't know. But, and then there's PC, which PC is now having a resurgence thanks to UEVR and PreyDog and modders out there. It's amazing. I do, Visor Republic, what up, man? An 09 man CSD. Says, I just need Last of Us VR and hybrid games. Yeah, totally agree. I still think hybrid games are the future. I think when you do hybrid games, maybe not the future, but hybrid games are that stopgap to get people interested immediately in VR. It's not the only solution, but I think it's the quick, easy solution to gain mass adoption in a really cool way, and also just make some of the best VR games out there. You look at Resident Evil Village, you look at Resident Evil 4, even Resident Evil 4 with its limitations is still considered to be one of the best, if not the best VR game out there today. But I do think it is important to have native VR games as well. It's just, I want to get to the point to where native VR games doesn't mean completely watered down and in content and just a small short experience. Like, I want all the things, man. I like some short experiences too, but I like the reason I like hybrid games so much is because I want to play these games and experience them in VR. I've been a console gamer most of my life, starting with Nintendo and then Super Nintendo and then PlayStation. And so like, I've just always been a console gamer, and that's how you're going to capture that market's attention, is that you either need something like completely revolutionary, built for VR, something really revolutionary, or you need flat to VR hybrids. Other stuff works too. I mean, there are some, but they're going to result in slower, smaller growth, which is fine. That's definitely another healthy way. But as long as it's growing, which it is, we're all good. Wes, what up, man? Wes in the house tonight. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're ready for Saturday. Truth Hurts, Mutant Ninja Game Cat says, what up, AJ and everyone? Man, time got away from me. Enjoying some Metal Hellsinger. Very nice, man. Yeah, Metal Hellsinger rocks, literally and figuratively. Again, if I had the choice between the two of Max Mustard and Metal Hellsinger, I think I would go Metal Hellsinger. But I could totally understand just needing a fun, chill platformer, something like a feel good, like Max Mustard is definitely a heartfelt game. They obviously put a lot of love and care into it, mostly, except for the character and the title of the game. But other than that, they put a lot of love and care into it. There's some really cool VRAF mechanics. But again, to me, just flat to VR just always ends up winning out because of the content itself. Looper, that's a good question. I don't know what time the spoiler cast is on Saturday, but I'm sure Brian will have a schedule it. Maybe we'll discuss it tonight. Jan Clausen says, I pre-ordered PS5 Pro. Bad decision, but here we go. Hey, at least, here's the thing. At least you know that PSVR 2 games. Do you play flat screen as well, Yan? Because you said you got a PSVR or you got a PS5 Pro. Do you play flat games as well? Because I think if you play flat games, it is easily like, you know, no question that's going to benefit you. If you only play VR, that's where it gets a little wishy-washy for me. I'm going to have to wait and see the full benefits of games getting PS5 Pro updates to really tell me whether it's going to be worth it or not. Because I only play VR these days. I do not play flat screen. Okay, you do play flat screen as well, so you're fine. Yeah, no, you're good. There's nothing. That was not a bad decision then. I don't think. If I still played flat games, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Also, if I wasn't trying to get a PC right now, a better PC, and sell mine, then I would get it in a heartbeat as well, even if I had to wait for the updates to come for the PS5 Pro. But the PS5 Pro is already confirmed, or they've already confirmed that there will be games getting a PS5 Pro patch. We don't know to what extent. I imagine things like No Man's Sky would be a big reason for me to get one. The Subside, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I meant to if I didn't, but Subside developers said, I did, that they were going to plan on maybe adding some additional graphical effects and things. Kayak VR has confirmed. I think Cube VR has confirmed, but there's just not enough for me yet. I don't care. Like there has to be I need a large library of supported games. To me, the PS4 Pro made more sense at the time because it was the price of a PS4. It was $400, and the PS4 dropped price. Also, really, the real reason is that the games on a base PS4 did not look very good. They ran at a lower frame. They ran at like 60 frames per second. And which I think they might have still, but they did not run or look as good. The resolution was terrible. Everything was blurry. Nothing, like there was like one or two games that looked decent on a base PS4. PS4 Pro made a huge difference. PS5 games already look freaking amazing to me. Like Red Matter 2 runs at like 68,000 by 58,000 resolution or some shit like that, some insane shit like that. So it's like I like, what else is it gonna do? Yeah, I think No Man's Sky will definitely get a pro upgrade because Hello games are just amazing. Yeah, I mean, if Light No Fire, comes out and that gets VR support, like, yeah, slowly over time, there's going to be enough to convince me. But in the meantime, no. Like, there's too many games that I want to play instead of just having a reason to replay games. There's too much that I have to play that I have yet to play. I want to upgrade my PC, play Cyberpunk 2077, play upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta. Silent Hill 2 comes out in like 5 days. I requested a review key for that. I didn't get a review key. I wasn't expecting to, but I requested a review key and I was like, fuck it. I'll see if I can get a key for UEVR and try it out. I may pick it up anyways, just to once somebody gets a UEVR profile for it, or just make it myself if I have the time. I don't think this generation has lost Stupid Donkey. I think this generation has had some really good stuff, like some really good games. Returnal, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now that is a game I could play in flat screen. The only reason I didn't is because That's probably coming to PC. And right now I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it might be my favorite game of all time once again. Final Fantasy VII in VR, you guys, holy shit. It is, again, I've been trying to kind of save this for later, make a video on this, but let me just tell you, there's a big thing about it, which is the camera angles. The camera angles in Final Fantasy VII Remake work so well in VR. It might be like the best camera angles I've ever experienced. And growing up, those of us that probably most of us are old enough to remember, that was a big problem with PS1 games and PS2 games, maybe some PS3 games. I think PS3 they started to get a little bit more ironed out, but PS1 and PS2 had a very bad camera angle problem, and this game's camera angles are so polished that like it just magically works in VR. And on top of that, all the cutscenes, not all, most of the cutscenes, like 97% of the cutscenes so far have all been from within a VR view and not just a flat cinema screen, making Final Fantasy VII Remake one of the greatest VR games I've ever experienced. And it's also my favorite game of all time. The original is anyways. So yeah, I spilled the beans there. Spoiler alert. That's going to ruin my upcoming video, but I'm just enjoying it whenever I get free time. So I've had to take a break right now, but people have said that it should be called FF7 Phoenix Down instead of Rebirth, right? I mean, yeah, I think so. Phoenix Down edition. That sounds kind of dumb, but I like this. It's in the right spirit. Magnum Gaming says, I think PSSR works with DFR combined. It probably will, most likely. But PSSR, keep in mind, while they did confirm, I think Sony confirmed themselves that it will work with PSVR 2. It's coming later. It's not going to be a launch thing. So even if you get a PSVR Pro, a PS5 Pro at launch, which, geez, I think that's like next month, isn't it? There's not going to be, I don't think there's going to be a ton of upgrades ready at launch. But it will, honestly, I don't think it's going to sell really that well. I'm not sure. I really don't think PS5 Pro is going to sell very well. At $700, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's worth it or not. It's just, I just don't know if people are really going to buy that. Maybe once Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, then people will buy it. They will eventually. Once it gets a price drop, I think people will. It's not that nobody doesn't want a PS5 Pro. It's that it's expensive as hell. It's a huge investment. And I don't know. I wonder how long this generation is going to continue like this. Because yeah, usually it's a mid-gen refresh. PS5 came out in what year? Was it 2020 that PS5 came out? Virtual Stranger says that's almost double, bro. Yeah, $700 in this economy is a tough ask. Yeah, for those select few that get it, it will be worth it. I'm sure, especially if you play non-VR games. Yeah, definitely not a normal gamer price tag there. But heck, yeah, I mean, PCs are expensive too. So 2020, yeah. So if you get another 4 years, I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems like weird timing for the PS5 Pro. To get another 4 years out of it would be nice. However, here's the thing, is that there's been a change up in leadership. Like Jim Ryan got his money and left. Herman Hulst is now taking over. His ideas are like just starting now being developed. So you saw stuff like Concord. Everything they've been working on for the past couple of years have been just like failing left and right. Except for like Astrobot. I mean, not failing left and right, but some of their big first party projects have already been announced, or, so I don't know, man. it is I'll agree with, I forgot who said that earlier, but yeah, it's a little bit of a weird generation, but that's what happens when you have when you change CEOs and leadership and like, you know, team members and stuff. You know, it's still the same PlayStation name, but it's a completely different group of people running the show now. So we'll have to wait and see how what happens. I mean, I always have faith that, you know, Sony's gonna end up on in the right place at the right time, but we have to wait for that time to get here. So all right, guys. Well, I think I've extended this as much as I could, but I really appreciate you guys, man. It was nice to have a true interactive chat where I got to interact with you for like a good 30 minutes or so, just talk with you, let you guys kind of own the conversations here. But man, super cool stuff. Again, stay tuned this weekend, most likely some Alien Isolation in VR. And then Saturday, check us out over on Without Parole for the Madison VR spoiler cast that we have planned. Lots of more spooky content coming pretty soon. Lots more game releases coming in hot. Monday, I will be back on Monday's Games Cast now because we've gone back to the original format. Yay! So original Games Cast format is back. I couldn't do it this time because I was preoccupied. I told Brian way ahead of time, months in advance, that hey, if we do this, I can't be there beginning of October, but really good stuff, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. Awesome times right around the corner, and also, I mean, we're in the thick of it now. I mean, we just got Into the Radius, Metal Hellsinger, Max Mustard, some good solid stuff, especially Into the Radius, man. Got to give a shout out to Into the Radius because holy shit, what a game. But other than that, yeah, Max Mustard, I'm sorry, Metal Hellsinger, pretty good stuff. On PC side, Subside, we got Metal Gear Solid Delta coming out soon. Silent Hill comes out in just a couple days. Can't wait to try and do that. But Stupid Donkey, thank you so much for the donation before we get out here. I appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate the love and support. Right back at you. Says, tip AJ more people. Thank you, man. I appreciate your guys' support as always. Like you out there watching right now, all of you lovely people down in this corner that have been commenting and chatting the entire show. Talkative bunch today. I love it. Tons of great conversations. Thank you for bringing up all the topics, extra bonus round content for this stream. These lovely fine people who support me on patreon.com/PSVR Underground. Thank you so much again. Hopefully we'll have some more surprises for you soon. And yeah, man, just to everyone else out there, be good to yourselves, be good to others. Play lots of games, but take lots of breaks too. Don't work too hard out there. Life's too short. Enjoy it from time to time. Don't burn yourself out. Remember to rest. Remember to unplug. Go touch grass every now and then. It's good for you. You'll even come back more productive, more fresh, more happier. Happy spooky season, guys. Woo, let's go. Time to get out of here. And let's cue the cat. Cue the metal. Silver Nexus, my dude, says take care of yourselves and each other. Be as merry as possible and game on. PSVR Underground. Damn Skippy. Shane's a great matter in the house tonight. Thanks so much, man. Looper, the Underground Game Cat, says B Haptics support out now for Cube and Paint the Town Red. Yeah, it wasn't a big enough story for me to add, but I was thinking about it. I'm definitely interested in Paint the Town Red, especially with that other update, the spawn mode or something. I don't know, some like fitness mode. Guys, son, fist bump to you. Jen Clausen, thank you so much. Says cue all the parole guys. 4D, until next time, my friend. The 1920 PS5 Pro 1084 CAD after. Woo, that's expensive. Good lordy. Those Canadian prices, man. Woo. I hope your wages are adjusted accordingly. But you guys do, to be fair, you guys do have bags of milk and everything chips. So at least you got that going for you. Magnum Gaming, peace out, man. Mark Poppin' Prequels Leaf, thank you so much, man. Virtual Strangers, thank you so much, Wes. Much love to you. Truth hurts. Laters, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. Daringly Average, James Snake, Salvador, my dude. All of you. Catch you till next time. See you again very soon. What up, Shades of Grey Matter? Leroy Jenkins! Yes, I did get the platinum for the PS4 version. I think you messaged me about hold on. Leroy, I think you messaged me about a trophy. I don't remember what that's from. I don't know if that's from playing day one, or if that's from like turning around at the main menu, or something. But play more dreams. Night, y'all.